There's a huge glare. All right, guys. So we are learning about, what does that say?
The solar eclipse.
The lunar eclipse. So we have learned about the solar system. What cycle did we just learn about? The moon phases or the lunar cycle, right? So we learned about the lunar cycle, now we're learning about the lunar eclipse. So, we're gonna take it back to the launch pad. What do you guys notice from this photo? What's going on? Yes, Andres?
The rocket is
About to launch into the moon.
Into the moon, right? Thank you for those raising your hand, right? So, we are gonna discuss what we know. Have we been to the moon? As in mankind, have they been to the moon?
Yes.
Yes, right? So, after knowing about solar eclipses previously, we'll be discussing lunar eclipses. So we already learned about solar eclipses from the videos that we've watched. Now we're going to talk about the lunar eclipses, okay? So we're going to discuss, how does an eclipse happen, right? How does a solar eclipse happen? How about a lunar eclipse? We're going to talk about all of these things, okay? But when we talk about lunar eclipse, we're talking about what exactly? When we think lunar or luna, we think of the moon. Exactly, right? So there's a couple of things that you guys are going to be quizzed on, okay? Including shadows. So there are 3 types of shadows, and I wanted to get a volunteer to read this. If you can't see, you can come up here next to me and read it. Let's have Tyrone read the first one. This is umbra.
Umbra, the darkest part of a shadow, where the light source is completely black.
Blocked or black, yeah. So that again, this is the darkest of the shadows, right? Which moon phase do you think this happens? Anyone? We learned about the different ones. What do you guys think? When is it when the darkness really?
Sean,
Yes, sir.
I wanted to apologize.
I appreciate you, sir.
I'm sorry for the way I acted. I'm just angry because I'm just angry because I was thinking about something that happened in the past.
Oh, that's so honest. Thank you, man. I appreciate your apology.
Thank you.
Much better, Leon. I really love to see it. Very mature. All right.
Sorry.
So, going back to the phases, guys. Do you guys remember? There was one in particular where the moon is almost hard to see. The sky is super dark. Which one is that? Would that be a full moon?
Yeah.
It would be a full moon?
No,
No.
maybe
And new moon. So it's simple. It gets confusing. I get it. Okay, yeah, well, you're not wrong there, but.
Well, the stars are definitely, that means you can actually still see them.
Exactly, right? So, how about the second one? I'll read the word itself, but I would love if someone can read the little description underneath. So, it's an antumbra. Last one we had was an umbra. This is an antumbra. Andres, you want to read this one?
Yeah.
And the third,
It's right over here. So can you read that? Or is that hard to see? Okay, if you can't see, you can always come up. But a lighter,
A lighter shadow surrounded by a
darker,
darker region is observed during
certain
certain
conditions.
conditions like solar eclipse.
Good. Right, so this is a bit of a lighter shadow, but it is surrounded by a darker region, right? This is observed during certain conditions like solar eclipses. So, obviously, when you guys consider these eclipses, what comes into play? What's this giant orange
A star.
ball?
The sun.
Well, it is a star, but it's the sun, right? What's this right here?
The moon.
The moon, and then obviously we have our Earth, And the earth is also an important part of this because duh, we're in earth, right? We're on earth and this is based off of what we get to see when we look at these different eclipses. Okay, and the third one is penumbra. Who wants to read this one? Can I have someone else? Robert. Go ahead.
The penumbra can be seen as the partially
Partially?
shaded area surrounding the umbra.
Good. Excellent. So it shows you in these visuals right here that the umbra falls around closest to the moon. The penumbra is somewhat from the center, and the antumbra is closest in view to the solar eclipses.
An idea, something shining onto you or better.
Exactly. So all of this is really saying is the sunlight plays a role, the moon and what phase it is plays a role, and it's all about how we can see it. The visibility is affected from these shadows. Okay? So that is something you'll have to know. But now let's talk about what an eclipse is. What is an eclipse? Who can read this? Someone else maybe? How about Alex? Can you help me read this? I'm gonna go for people who haven't read and then I'll come back to you. But I see you raising your hand. You will be rewarded for volunteering. Go ahead, Alex. Can you read this?
An eclipse
Occurs?
occurs when one
Celestial?
celestial body passes through the shadow of another celestial body.
Good reading. Do you want to keep going?
And yeah,
Okay.
an eclipse is a celestial event in which one astronomical body, such as a planet or moon, passes through the shadow of another celestial body, causing a temporary reduction or complete obstruction of light. On Earth, the most common types of eclipse are solar eclipse, where the moon passes between the sun and Earth, and lunar eclipse, where Earth comes between the sun and the moon.
Good reading, Alex. Way to go. I want to read you too. Nice. So, basically, guys, two types of eclipses, right? We have the lunar eclipses and the solar eclipses. Remember, the key takeaway here is understanding the difference between the two. They're easily confused, but they're different, right? Solar eclipses is when the moon passes between the sun and the earth, right? The moon is in between both. Lunar eclipses is when earth comes between the sun and the moon, right? So the top one, which one do you think this one is?
The sun.
Sun,
What's happening over here?
moon,
You guys get what I'm saying? So the earth comes in between when it comes to the lunar eclipse.
Well,
And
it
then
looks like that.
the moon passes between the sun and earth, right? So, very important to know the difference. Now, we just talked about the two types. I'm going to read this again. Solar eclipses occur when the moon passes between the sun and earth, blocking or partially blocking the sun's light. This can result in a partial or total obscuration of the sun as seen from earth, right? It's all about how we view it. It's all about the visibility of it due to the blocking of the sun's light. Lunar eclipse is different. This is again when the earth comes between the sun and the moon, causing earth's shadow, keyword shadow, right? We've been learning about the three, to be cast on the lunar surface. This results in a darkening or reddening of the moon. So in the lunar eclipse, the moon looks different, and with the solar eclipse, it affects the visibility through the sun. Thank you. The vitamins? Is she out there still? Do you want anything out, Miss, or do you want to come in here? I thought you were gonna go to Miss Thompson's. I did. I think you're ready to learn about this one. You're not in trouble, Miss. You want to go to Miss Thompson's? All right, go check in with her and based on what she says.
Okay.
because you were waiting so patiently. She's right. Just a lot of fun Friday energy, right, guys? All right. That's what I love about you guys. You guys come back to center. Guadalupe, what you doing, miss? Hey, nap time? All right. So, can someone else read this one for me? Let me have someone who hasn't read. Anybody? Somebody? Esmeralda, would you like to read? I can read with you? Yeah? Okay. So, lunar eclipse. A lunar eclipse
A lunar eclipse
occurs when
occurs when the Earth comes
directly.
directly between the Sun and the Moon.
Good. And do you want to keep going?
Sure.
Sure, go ahead. If you can't read from back there, you're welcome to come up here too. I know, you gotta hang out up here in front with me. No, it's not. We're all friends here. Okay, this celestial
Celestial evening
can
only things during full moon and the Sun, Earth, and the Moon are
align
aligned in a straight line with
the earth.
the Earth, the middle of the Earth.
The moon
The Moon
moves
moves in between into the Earth in the shadow lays
oh, sorry, to a
to a
temporary
temporary
dimming,
dimming or the
darkening
darkening from the
of the lunar.
lunar surface.
Good, last one.
There
Are
are types of
three types.
three types of
Lunar
lunar eclipse:
penumbral,
penumbral lunar eclipse,
partial,
partial lunar eclipse,
and total.
lunar eclipse.
Excellent. You guys are so supportive. Good job. Okay, I love the clapping. You guys are hilarious. Okay, good reading always, always, always. All right, so again, thank you, Esmeralda. When we are talking about the lunar eclipse, it again occurs when Earth comes in between, directly in between the sun and the moon, right? So it tells you this only takes place during a full moon, right? Only happens during a full moon. When the sun, earth, and moon, they are aligned in a straight line. It literally looks, well, this isn't a straight line, but imagine the earth, sun, and moon in one straight line, right? And again, the earth being in the middle, this is when the moon moves into the earth's shadow, leading to a temporary dimming or darkening of the lunar surface. We learned about 3 different types of shadows, but we also need to know 3 different types of lunar eclipses, one being penumbral, partial, and total lunar eclipses. Okay? So 3 types of shadows, 3 types of lunar eclipses. Gotta know that. Can you get the other one, please? You wanna read this one, Maria? Sure. So, we got partial lunar eclipse. Okay. Well, welcome back, Miss. Put your pretty bow. Go ahead. Portion
Portion of the moon moves
into
into the
Earth's umbra. A portion
A portion of the moon moves
into the Earth's umbra.
umbra. The
Central,
central and
darker
darker
part
part of
its
its
shadow.
shadow
This results
results in
a partial
partial
darkening
darkening of the
lunar surface
surface
as only
only
part of
the
moon
is
obscured.
obscured.
Alright, thank you, Miss. Good reading. Guys, it is really hard to read so much of this in front of everyone. So it would mean a lot, I'm sure, to the reader and to all of us if we could be respectful and quiet and hold side conversations for later. Yes, Miss? Thank you, ladies. Okay, so these are a lot of new words, a lot of unfamiliar words, but You guys did good reading. So the whole point of understanding this, right, is knowing that there are different shades of these shadows, right? The central and darker part of the shadow is as the Earth's umbra, right? This only will result in a partial darkening of the lunar surface as part of the lunar disappearance. This is basically what y'all see. So everyone looks. This is what you see from Earth. And you guys have seen stuff like this.
Like, that's the sun.
Yes.
Yep, that's the sun.
Why does sun look like that?
Why does one?
Because
Why
it's
does it
an
look
art,
like that?
it's like art, it's not gonna be fully real.
Okay, yeah.
If
Right.
it was like an actual image, then it would be like the ones that you see in the sky, which you get
Yeah.
by your eyes.
Okay, obviously this is not an actual portrayal, and I think we all know that. In terms of size, the sun's huge
Huge,
compared to the Earth,
It's a star.
and then, right, it's a ginormous star.
and
And the moon is far smaller, right? So that's also why it looks that way. It wants you to get a good idea of how big it would look like. But basically, when you guys see a partial lunar eclipse, I just want you guys, if you take away anything, I just want you guys to know what it would look like. And that's when you see, kind of like, what does this remind you of?
A cheese ball.
Okay, aside from the cheese ball, which moon face does it kind of remind you of?
full moon.
Sort of, but isn't the entire
It's like an
moon?
eyeball.
No.
Which one? It starts with a G.
A geographic.
Geographic gibbous.
The faces of the moon.
The phases of the moon that we just
Throw
learned
in
about.
paper.
Okay. Well, it kind of looks like the waxing or waning gibbous, right? Depending on,
If like the other side was like black, yeah.
yeah, depends, yeah. Exactly.
So it moves or not?
I know.
Tell this one too.
So we actually don't have time to continue reading this because we only have a few minutes of class left. But what I would want you guys to do, before you clean up, I just want to discuss this really quickly. On your guys' desks, I'll wait, 3, 2, and 1. Please do not lose these two papers. On one side of the paper, we have all of the different kinds of lunar eclipses, including the ones that we started talking about. We're gonna talk more about these, I'll wait. Because remember, I dismissed you, the bell was not. And I asked for everyone to just pause on cleaning up. I understand you guys wanna go to class. But that's not gonna happen until you show you're ready to leave from this class.
I said Lulu.
Oh, my Lululemon?
Yeah. Is that Lulu?
What? My jacket is not Lululemon.
It looks like Lulu.
Okay, I like Lululemon. But going back to the lunar eclipse, these are the different kinds of eclipses, okay? There's about 8, so what we're gonna do Monday when we get back is just a mix and match. We're gonna, yes, I'm gonna give them back to you. You're gonna mix and match, you're gonna need them. We're gonna mix and match these eclipses, and then we're gonna have our quiz Tuesday, which gives us only 3 days before. These are notes that are gonna go in your pouch. Okay, so these go in your pouch right now. Go ahead and clean up. Make sure everything is stuck nicely. Pencils are put back in your pouch. These should fit in your pouch in Hemispora.
I think you have just.
Make sure you have yours.
These are mine.
And just a reminder, guys, next Friday is the start of break. We're gonna go over this handout Monday. You're gonna try it on your own after we finish this PowerPoint, sorry we're out of time. And then after you guys go over this, on Tuesday we'll have our quiz, which gives us a couple of days to review. And then Friday we have our holiday movie potentially party. So we'll see how that goes. And then don't worry, I will be giving out those canes because based on who I think has been killing it and doing well in my classes. We'll have to see, we'll have to see. All right, I'm gonna let tables that look ready to go first. The base table's nice and quiet, you guys can go.
22 people. Okay.
Be quiet. Let's see how can go at 5. Andrea's table, Jacob's table, push your chairs in, guys. They're walking out of class. Dave's on the rush, walking. Bye, Juliana.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Conlon. Appreciate you. Yes.
The other girl.
I don't know. I don't know what she said.
But she said that I don't like when the kids are connected to her. I don't know how to say the word, but
Is it something that wasn't very nice? Or do you think maybe she meant it as a compliment? I don't know anything about who. Okay. Well, that's not nice. Did you chat with Miss Moore about it? What did she say?
she said, did I tell you? And
She said what?
she said, did I tell you? And
So she said, just talk to me. Okay, well, I don't really know what she said. So I don't really know how I can approach her and talk to her about it, because I don't know what was said. Was it mean things that were said? Did she say, can you just tell me what she said? Why is it a bad word?
I don't understand it.
Oh, okay, so it's something mean. Well, is there something I can do to help you? I can talk to her, but I just don't know exactly what to tell her. Because I don't know what happened, but I can say, make sure that I'm not saying mean things. The thing is, you and Guadalupe are friends, and you guys joke around a lot. Okay. Well, next time, I'm gonna ask you to just talk to me, because when you shut down like that, it turns into an issue where I can't address the situation soon. You know what I'm saying? I would want to talk about it and get together. And maybe it's something you guys can clear up. This happens all the time. You guys have disagreements and then you hug by the end of the conversation. And she'll be like, what? I didn't hear Olivia. I'm pretty bomb. And you'll be like, Guadalupe and his mom too. And then you guys have a good old day. Just look at you smiling. Don't know you two. Y'all be smiling all the time. While you're in around the campus. And give each other candy. So she's your friend. Talk to her about it. Say, hey, that hurt my feelings. Can you not say that anymore? And if that doesn't go well, come talk to one of us and we'll take care of it. She should not be saying anything mean to you, but I know how good of friends you are. Maybe something was misunderstood. But if she meant it and she's being mean about it, you let me know. And I will talk to her. Okay? You feeling okay now? All right. Have a good day, Miss. Oops, sorry. Too much was in the air. Too much force. You're too strong. All right,
Is
sweetheart.
that supposed to say the 11th?
No, there's 12 days of Christmas, but then from tomorrow it'll be 11th. But we won't be here. So we have to do a recount on Monday. All right, bye, sweetheart. Get the class. Bye. Bye. Oh, and these are the lunar eclipses that they are going to be working on Monday. And then they have this available to them online. So it might be a little bit easier for them to complete where they can actually see their print because right now it has a darker background. They just fill it in and these are out of order. They have to arrange them in the specific order and basically use their notes and their journals to basically identify each eclipse appropriately. But thanks for watching.